welcome to chat about number 4. To be honest, I didn't think I'd get to number 2, let alone number 4. So anyway, here we are. My studio that you see all around me, the desk and the computer and my bookshelf here, this lovely piece of artwork up here, none of it's real, I've got to tell you. It's all transparent GIFs or graphics that are being produced on Photoshop or similar, as well as some animated GIFs as well. So how do you do it? That's what I want to talk about today. So first of all, I'm being filmed against a green screen. It's using an effect called chroma keying. You can have a blue screen, black screen, all kinds of colour screens, but green is generally best. The computer using the editing software works better with the green screen than any other colour, but in some circumstances a blue screen can be better. For instance, if you've got a green logo or something, or a green shirt on, when you use the chroma effect, it will make that invisible as well. So in that case, you would prefer to use a blue screen. But in this case, I'm being recorded against a green screen and using a chroma key effect on the computer to make the background translucent so that the other graphics can be seen, and I appear to be sat in my studio. If I remove some of the objects, you'll see what I mean. Yep, the lamp, that's just animated graphics, GIF formatted and cycled over and over again. Oh, the laptop, that's not real either. The 2 wonk sign, 2 Whiskey Zero November Kilo Sierra, that's my amateur radio call sign. Oh, the desk, that's just a GIF with a transparent background. And the background itself. Now you can see the green screen. So with chroma effects, you can put anything into your video. You can be in any location you want to be. It's used a lot on television for the news and weather forecasts, where you see the weather girl stood in front of the picture of the UK and the animations with the clouds and things. That's all done using a chroma effect. So you could be anywhere you want to be. Let me show you. Of course, you could end up here in the... a bit hot. Or you could even end up here in... it's a bit damn cold. But you get the picture. And here we are, back in sunny North Wales. Oh, yeah. Yep, the green screen I'm sat in front of now. That's homemade. You can buy them on Amazon, Photoshops and places like that, but they are cheap and easy to make. This one is a bed sheet that has been dyed using a bright green dye and stretched on a frame, and that's it. It's as easy as that. So don't go buy them, make one. It is so simple. There are some downsides as well, lots of things that can go wrong. When you stretch your green screen over your frame, make sure it's nice and tight and taut, because if you get wrinkles in the screen, they will show up on the video and ruin it. Also, you can go off screen as well, so stay within the bounds of the green screen when you're videoing, otherwise you get things like this happen, where bits of your body or whatever it is you're filming disappear. Bad lighting as well, it will cast shadows. I've got to tell you that I at the moment haven't got very good lighting. I have ordered some decent lighting or some better lighting, proper video lighting, with 2 lights and stands and everything from Amazon. And when that arrives tomorrow, I will probably try and do an unboxing, demonstration and review of them for you. Poorly adjusted chroma effect will also ruin it. You will have lots of things showing up on the screen that you don't want showing, and it will ruin the effect totally. And I will demonstrate that when I dive down into the program and show you how to do the effects. Getting proportions correct as well. That will ruin it if it's not right. If you have something on a green screen that's far too small for the background or far too big, it will be blatantly obvious that you're using a green screen, and again that will ruin it. And there are other things that can go wrong, but for now they are the main things to try and avoid. or at least to try and get right. So let's dive down into Premiere Elements 2020 and see how it's all done. Okay, so it's all very easy. It's nowhere near as complicated as it sounds. First thing you need to do obviously is open Premiere Elements, whatever version you're using. Add media. I've already added some media in there, so you'll find the media in your project assets. You need to be in the expert mode for this, by the way, not in the quick mode. So if you are in quick mode, click expert. Then the first thing to do is to drag your background down onto video line 1. I then tend to expand it a bit. You can always trim it back later. And there it is, there's your background. You can always click in the window and adjust the size of it if you wish. Once you've done that, you need some elements in there. Now I'm using the video that you've seen of me a moment ago, dressed in a woolly hat and things. So there we are. And you'll notice on this that there are some errors here because I've used the green screen and the camera in portrait mode rather than landscape mode. You will notice that my hands do disappear out the side. So that's something to avoid. Anyway, we're going to trim this clip anyway, so no matter. So go back to the point where we want to start there. Click on there to make sure that's light blue. Click on this little scissor icon. Click on the bit you don't want. Press delete and it goes. Use the timeline marker and move it forward to the point where we want to stop. There. Click on the scissors again and get rid of the bit we don't want. And there we are, we're left with the bit we do want. So now to get rid of this green background. So quite simply, you go into FX here and click on the little spyglass icon and type in Chroma or green. In this case, you can use green, but I tend to use Chroma. It has exactly the same thing. So click on the Chroma key and drag it down to the clip. You'll see it gets an orange border on it and let go. That then highlights that and you'll see this panel appear here, the Chroma Key Panel. Let's move that out of the way. And you can adjust the green background by sliding these sliders around. The first thing you need to do is tell it what colour we want to get rid of. And we want to get rid of the green. So click on the little eyedropper. Click somewhere on the green. And you'll see straight away that part of it disappears, but not all of it. So you adjust using the sliders, the Similarity. You'll notice if you go too far, it gets rid of everything. So it's just a matter of messing around with the sliders to get it right. You can blend it. You can adjust the threshold and the cutoff points as well. So it's just a matter of moving these sliders around until you get to the point where it's as best as you're going to get it. Now I've got to say that if you use poor lighting, as I said I have got poor lighting at the moment, this is going to be even harder because you're going to get shadows on your green screen. Get a nice even lighting and a nice flat green screen and you won't have anywhere near as many problems as I'm having here with this. Now what you can do, you can have more than one chroma key. So you can again click on FX, drag another chroma key onto it and select the colour that you're struggling to get rid of. In that case that one. And adjust Similarity again and you'll notice there now it has gone. So if we use the slider and slide through that, there we are. There might be some places if you've got green, such as down the front of my jacket here, that it might just get rid of that as well. So beware of that. And that's, as I said earlier, why sometimes you would use a blue screen rather than a green. So let's say you wanted to put another element in there. Quite simply right click here on the video panel, add tracks, and add however many tracks you need. We're going to add about 4 tracks in here, and we want them to go after the last track. And we click on OK. You'll notice it now has put some more tracks in here. So go back to our project assets, and the next thing we want is we're going to have the snowman in there as well. So drag the snowman down onto the timeline, and there he is. much too big, perspective is totally wrong. I mentioned about this earlier. If you have something far too big, it looks stupid. If you have something far too small, it looks equally stupid. So try and get something to the point where you think it may look okay. Maybe that, maybe a bit bigger. Anyway, you can mess around with it to your heart's content. Now this is a GIF with a transparent background, so there's no green screen to worry about with that. In this instance, I've got the snowman in front of me, so it's above the green screen image of me, which will put it in front. If I wanted myself to be in front of the snowman, quite simply drag that me above it, and you'll notice that I go in front of the snowman. It's quite handy though, because I've got this hand that's cut off to put him down there, and then he hides my hand that's been cut off. A bit of trickery, pokery if you like. Okay, so now we're happy with that one. Let's look at some more elements. I've also put a green screen helicopter in there, which is taken from YouTube and it is royalty free. So let's put the green screen helicopter in, and if we put the helicopter there, and you'll notice with this it's got a lovely even solid green screen. So with this we go onto FX, to click in the spyglass again, and this time put in green, and you'll see green screen key come up. Simply drag that down and you'll notice it's almost translucent. You can adjust that again by messing around with the threshold and the cutoff points until you've got it just right how you want it. There we go. But it's in front of me, and you don't really want the helicopter coming in front of me. So what we're going to do with that is drag it out of the way a moment, and we will drag me and the snowman up, and we will put the helicopter in down below. So now the helicopter comes behind me. Quite simply move the helicopter and resize it to a size that would be maybe realistic, and we're going to have it flying in from up here and flying across the scene, flying down that way. So how do we do that? Quite easy. Put the helicopter to a reasonable start point and out of view. Click on motion. Now you must make sure this is light blue at the same time. Click on the little hourglass up here, and that will open this timeline up here. And we don't want to change the scale of it, but we do want to change the position of it. So make sure we're at the start position, which is there, and then we want to take it to what's going to be our end position, which is going to be the end of the part where I'm in it, which is there. Once we're happy we're at that point, we can then move the helicopter to where we want it to finally go, down here, out of scene, and you'll notice here it's put a little timeline marker. It is now recorded where we want it to start, where we want it to finish. So if we go back to the beginning and press play, and disappears. We can adjust the audio or even remove the audio. You can turn the volume down on the audio for the helicopter so it's not so loud. Increase the snowman size to there. And what we're missing now? The only thing we're missing really now is the snow. So again, go to Project Assets, Snowflakes. This is another royalty-free green screen video from YouTube. Now we want that to come down in front of us. We don't want the snow behind us. So make sure it's on the top timeline. There. So once you've dragged your snow down onto your timeline, where you find the snow you want, delete the bits you don't want, drag it over the top of your timeline, again go to your
effects panel, the green screen key is still showing there from our last search, and drag it over the top. You'll notice the snow almost disappears because we need to still adjust our threshold and our cutoff point to show what's there. So adjust that, make sure the timeline's over the top, of course, and there we are, there's the snow, and we're quite happy with that. Once you are happy with that, get rid of this, and you'll now notice if we go back here, it's snowing over the top of us. You can then trim that and trim this bit to the point where you've just got the scene you want. And once you've done that, you can preview it. So enjoy it. You can do some cracking stuff with green screen and chroma screen and blue screen as well.